Hi everybody, this is April 13th and I wanted to pop on here real quick and do a live video. I have my gym, my home gym all done. I'm going to scoot back. This is kind of a test too. I want to scoot back this way and I'm going to try something. Okay. So I have my big tablet over here. So since I do my own video work, I just wanted to see if oh, and how do you like the hole in my pants? Hope you guys don't mind the hole in my sweatpants. But yeah, because I can't really see that far. So I just wanted to kind of see how this is going to work if I start doing some workouts in here, live workouts. I need to get a wide angle lens too to make it a little wider. I couldn't find that this morning, but what do you guys think? So I have some stuff over here that you can't really see, and it's not really totally all the way done, but it's done enough so I can do workouts. And hi, how are you? So I got it ready just enough to start doing some workouts, and I don't know if I'm going to do videos or live, thank you, or both. Do you guys like the live videos? If you like the live videos, give me a thumbs up. And this is going to be, oh, thank you. This is going to be me starting from scratch. I mean, total scratch. My arms and my legs, everything has yeah, I've shrunk a lot. And yeah, so I want to get some tone back, a little bit of muscle back. My muscles have really atrophied. So I have this set up enough to start doing some just real easy workouts, probably more on the beginner side. And yeah, if you could see what I could see back here, half of the garage is in decent shape. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Who all's here? Say hi. I was gonna do a little workout, but oh, thank you. I guess I'm always hard on myself just because of what I used to look like. But I mean, I don't think this is really picking up how my arms look, skin wise and everything. And it's just because my muscles have just shrunk. So I've been doing my cardio. I have a Stairmaster right over here. I've been pretty good with that. And with the keto diet, cardio is so much easier now. And I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking for you guys. I think over here. Cardio is one thing that I used to hate, but since I've been doing the keto diet, it's so much easier, and I actually like doing my cardio. It's the weights that I haven't been doing, and I want to get back to the weights. So yeah, let me step back here again. And I think it'll be better when I get my wide angle lens, and probably be better too if I can scoot my camera back. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me when I'm back here? The garage is all closed up, so can you hear me? I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, I can see right here. That looks pretty good on this tablet here. I kind of like that. It looks different in my phone. But can you guys hear me? Let me turn the volume up here. I don't know if this is going to make a noise, or maybe it won't. Yeah, you guys can hear me, huh? Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is there's a little delay from what I'm saying and you guys are hearing. Okay, good, because I do have mics too that I can set up. Yeah. So I would have to dig those out. So I need to dig a mic out, and thank you for the other thumbs up. I need to dig a mic out and a wide angle lens, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to come on, and we're 5 minutes in. I wanted to say hi, see how you guys were doing, and see who would maybe come on. And I was reading something in here today. Have you guys heard of this book, The Purpose Driven Life? And it's funny because using what God gave you, I opened up to this page and I started reading it, and I thought this was good. What you are is God's gift to you. What you are is God's gift to you. What you do with yourself is what you do with yourself is your gift to God. I thought that was really good. I still got 3 people here. Yay. I'm just kind of stalling and procrastinating. I'm just excited about my gym too. But I wanted to see if Susan was gonna pop on and see how you guys were doing. Did you guys have a nice Easter yesterday? It was nice and peaceful. The weather was nice here. And yeah, I didn't really come prepared on here to really say anything. Now I don't know what to say. Somebody say something back to me. Are you guys excited about some workouts? What kind of workouts would you want to see? I'm planning on just coming and just doing what feels right to me. Yeah. Anybody? Help me out here. I'm a little more nervous today. I don't know why. When I'm in my house, the last ones that I've made, I've felt more comfortable. Upper body workout. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, should I do that now? Should we do a little arm workout or something now? Or shoulders? Yeah, let's do that. One thing that I read in this book too, it's funny how you're led to certain things. But this is about God wanting you to enjoy using the shape that He's given you, and accept and enjoy your shape. So, I think sometimes, and another thing in this too is comparing yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to others. And I think that's like sometimes hard not to do. I've been wanting to come back to this channel, and I want to do it a different way, in a way, to a certain degree, than I have before, because I'm in a different place in my life now than when I competed. Definitely when I competed in the 80s and 90s, and then when I came back in 2010 and competed again. I'm just like in such a different place, and I want to try to combine what I've learned over the last, well, it's been 10 years since I competed. Can you believe that? I can't believe it's been 10 years already. There's a part of me that wants to come back to that to a certain degree, not to that extreme and that type of shape, but I want to add in some other stuff. I want to add in God and some faith stuff. More talk about that with working out. One thing that's like come to me too is this book kept popping popping in my mind. The Purpose Driven Life. I've had this book ever since I accepted Jesus as my Savior. So 2002. So 18 years. And I haven't even, I started reading it in the beginning, and then, yeah, I didn't get very far. Today, it kept popping in my mind. And I'm like, I'm going to pull this out because one of the things I've been thinking of is purpose driven fitness. And making your fitness purposeful is one thing that I talk to my clients about. It's more than just going through emotion. It's more than just doing it from your mind. It's like making it purposeful. I think the way that you make it purposeful is getting in touch with your body. So today, after thinking about this 2 or 3 different times, I'm like, I'm going to pull this out. And so this is the page that I opened to. It's using what God gave you. And one of the things that stuck out to me, this wasn't highlighted. I went and highlighted this as I was reading it. But one of the things that stuck out, if you don't exercise your muscles, they weaken and atrophy. And I'm like, yes, they do. I see that in my body, for sure. And so it's time to get back to my muscles. And another thing too, I think me getting back to it now is going to be for different purposes than I used to do it. And I've seen this, and this doesn't have the verse in it, but I've seen this in the Bible. Like athletes preparing for the Olympics, we keep training for that big day. Okay, that's not the part, that's just the book, but it says they do it for a gold medal that tarnishes and fades. You're after one that's gold eternally. And I think that's more of my purpose. It's like doing it to take care of my body for me, but also for God. Doing it for a deeper reason than training for a gold medal. You know, it's like nothing wrong with that, but I've done that. And it's like you end up doing it just for that. And you get out of touch with why you're doing it. And what came to me not too long ago, probably in the last month or so, is full circle and in the beginning. And when I hear the words in the beginning, I went to the Bible. I've never read the Bible all the way through, but it's like I went to the very beginning. And then I started getting these, okay, remember how when you first started working out, full circle. I feel like I'm coming full circle. In the beginning, it was in the beginning when I first started working out. I did it because I really liked it. I had fun. I liked going to the gym. I liked socializing, which we can't do that now. This is like our socializing here in my home gym. But that's how I started when I first started working out, was because I really liked it. And then it turned into me going after something, which was still fun. It was still good, but it changed, I guess, in the end, why I was really doing it, or why I really started doing it in the beginning. And, you know, so this is full circle. So I've had time off from training. I think I almost had to do that to appreciate other things of myself and it not always be about the physical. I've learned to like who I am and what I look like, even not having the muscles and not being fit. I mean, it's like I have a little belly, but actually I've come down a little bit from 2 years ago. And actually, what is today, the 13th, April 13th, four more days and it'll be, thank you for the other thumbs up. 3 more days and it'll be 2 years since I've been doing the keto diet. So 2 years ago I was 123, and today I'm about 100 and 105. So, but it's really not even about the weight anymore. It's more about the way that I feel, and yeah, just learning more things about myself. So I started to say, I've wanted to come back to this channel for a while, but it just has to fit where I am today, and I am in a different place than I used to be. And I'm just fumbling right now because I want to add some of this stuff in here, but it's like, how do I do that? How do I do that with working out? I mean, I have some ideas. One idea is when I read things, a lot of times I get images of how you can, how I relate them to like working out. Like one thing is like this first verse here. It's Romans 12:5, and it's since we find ourselves fashioned into all these. Actually, let me read it from my Bible. I did bring my Bible out here because I like the way the Bible said it before, and I've seen this verse before, but it's so in Christ we who are many form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. And it's kind of true. It's like we have different body parts, and it's not just about one body part. It's about combining all of your body parts together to be whole. And you know, it's funny, this talks about we have different gifts. So it's talking about, you know, people in the church, we have different gifts, which I think that's what this is about too, is you know, accepting what God gave you, whether it's your body or your your gifts, your purpose. You know, because I've been questioning, you know, everybody's at home, you can't really go out and socialize. It's allowed me to look at things differently and find more meaning in a lot of things that sometimes you take for granted. And it's actually brought me closer to Jesus. And I've been getting like some messages and some ideas of what I want to do with fitness. I feel like me being a trainer is one of my gifts, and helping people to find their way. You know, I think that's where the comparing yourself to others comes in. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes we see people and we like the way that they do things, and it's like we want to, hi, how are you? We want to do things, you know, we like how they do things, we like, you know, them, and it's like, oh, but I don't do things that way, I do things differently. And I think it's like really about finding your own way. Thank you. Yes, the new gym's ready. Yay. I think that's what I do with my clients anyway. It's like I help them find what works for them. You know, it's not a one size fits all, and this, you know, everybody's supposed to do it this way. It's about finding the things that you can do for you. You know, and kind of when I was reading this part here, that's kind of what it reminded me of is, you know, you focus on the talents that he's given you. You don't compare yourself to others. And everybody's different. Everybody has injuries or just things that they have to work around. And yeah, so let me see what this says right here. Oh, this is another thing I liked too. Don't act thoughtlessly, but try to find out and do whatever the Lord wants you to. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out what Jesus wants me to do. what would Jesus do? What does Jesus want me to do? But when I read that, don't act thoughtlessly, and that's I can apply that to fitness, because it's not just about the mind and your mind actually being someplace else and not connected to your body when you're working out. It's very important to get, I think that's probably the most important thing to not just fitness and getting results, but something that helps you outside of the gym too, when you're not working out. And I learned this through working out, and it makes it easier to be connected to your body, mind, body, and spirit, or mind, body, and breath. I think that's probably the most important thing when you're working out, is getting those things connected. Because if you're not, you're just kind of going through emotion, and it's thoughtless, it's mindless. So it's like, it's about getting the mind and body connected so your breath is there. And to me, it's like I see the spirit as like the breath, so it's mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, and breath. When the mind and body come together, the breath is right. I was training one of my clients today. I have one client, I lost all my clients except for one, but I have another one that wants to come back through either Skype or Facebook Messenger. And so the one that I'm training, she started to do one of her leg exercises, and I could tell that it was like just mindless, and I said, what did I say? I said, make sure you're connected to your body. No, make sure you're connected to your breath. And her hearing that, she slowed down. And this is something that we talked about last week. And she slowed down. And you could just feel when she slowed down, she came into her body and got connected. Her mind and body got connected, and her breath felt different. It felt deeper and more flowing and rhythmic. Because when somebody's mind and body aren't connected, the breath isn't going to be quite right. It's not going to be full and deep, and it's going to be you can tell it feels kind of top heavy. It feels like there's no purpose to it, no substance. It's like you're just going through emotion. And those are the kind of things that I want to talk about now that I got my gym set up and I'm working out, or I'm going to do workouts. I'll talk about those things as they come up. But I love reading stuff like this and like applying this to the workouts, because it's the don't act thoughtlessly. That's like so true. You want to be present. It's like when you're connected mind and body, it's like you're in the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, your breath flows, right? And it's like, it's all about the breath. It's all about the breath when you want to take a set farther than you want to, or that you normally could. Anytime I've trained somebody and it's like they start to fail, it's because their breath gets out of sync. And if you're going to train heavy too, if you're trained to train heavier, you have to have your breath flowing. And I think that's all I wanted to talk about here. But so this is going to be more about we're doing this for bigger and better reasons than a gold medal, right? It's about taking care of ourselves. And I feel like starting the keto diet almost 2 years ago, it gave me some freedom. It allowed me to drop some of the weight that I had gained, but it gave me some freedom, and it was easy, which I kept trying to go back to the way that I dieted before, which that works too, but it just wasn't working for my life. And I know I've said this before in some of my other videos, so sorry if it gets repetitive, but just in case people don't know that, eating 5, 6, 7 times a day just doesn't fit my lifestyle anymore, which I guess actually it probably could now since I can't go any place right now. You have all the time to cook, but still it's like I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend my life cooking and then eating all the time. With the keto and intermittent fasting, it works so well. I fast usually anytime. Like yesterday I only went about 14 and a half hours, but that's seldom that I do that. Average is 16 to 18, and then sometimes I'll go 20, 22, 24 hours. And yeah, my mind went blank because something popped up on my screen there. Sorry about that. Yeah, but it works for me, and it's given me some freedom to focus on some other things. And yeah, it's just all about finding what works for you. When I competed, I found it towards the end of my career, I found what worked for me. I read all kinds of magazine articles and stuff like that and tried different things, and it's like finally in the end I listened to my body, and I learned about getting the mind and body connected, to get results and to get that intensity. To me, it's like it's the intensity that makes you grow. It's the intensity that gives you the results. So it's about finding what makes you excited too. Just because somebody that has good results does something one way doesn't mean that you have to do it that way to get those results. That makes it a should then. Well, I should be doing this if I want to get those results. But it's like, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. You have to do where your spirit leads you. And to me, it's like I said, the spirit is the breath to me. And it's like, when something sounds right to me, it yes, it excites me. It makes me, is dieting difficult right now? Not as much as it probably would be if I was dieting the way that I used to diet in the past. I think that would be really hard. But since I do keto, it's not, because all I have to do is really just up my fat a little bit, and then it satisfies me, and then I don't think about food. So my weight is maybe like a pound or two higher than it was before all this started. Oh, hi. Thank you. Yeah, so, and I don't know if I don't think it's really from my diet. I think it's just because I'm probably not moving around as much, because before I would go to the gym, and when I train people, I'm standing up most of the time and I'm walking around and stuff. So I think it's probably just a matter of, I'm just not moving as much as I was. So I still do my cardio, and because the weather's not too bad today, but I know when it gets nicer and I'm out with my horses too, I'm moving around. So when I'm working them on the ground, I'm walking with them and stuff. So I think it's just a matter for me, not that I'm eating anything bad or that's not on my diet as far as keto. It's just that I'm just not moving as much as I was before all this started and we had to stay in place more. But yeah, because I love the keto diet because I can eat. I have my things that I kind of stick to, but I don't have to count calories, which I never really counted calories anyway. When I competed, it was more about counting grams of protein and grams of carbs. I never really counted grams of fat, and vegetable carbs never counted. But it was always first about the grams of protein that you were taking in. You figured that first, and then you worked the carbs in. So I never counted calories. And it's funny because doing keto, I don't have to count calories. And like I said, I've dropped from 123 to like 105-ish now, 104-ish. Um, it kind of fluctuates, and sometimes it's like 103. So almost 20 pounds in the last 2 years, and it was like so easy. But yeah, now that was leading to somewhere. Shoot, I forgot what I forgot where that was going. I was watching a cat out there too. There's a cat in the window. So yeah, I was talking about the keto diet. Can somebody tell me what I was talking about? That was leading to something. The weight just fell off? Oh, you mean my weight? Yeah. I'm like, where did weight fall? um, yeah, it was like so easy, and it's like that was something like it was something really hard to like switch my mind frame of the way that I always dieted, to do the keto diet. I'll never say never, because I said that before, and then in 2010 I had a desire to do it again and I did it. But I think this time I am done, because it kind of, for me, I don't want to have to do anything anymore. You have to eat a certain way, and you have to train, and I don't want to have to do anything anymore. I want to do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. And that's what in the beginning I was talking about, coming full circle. In the beginning, when I first started working out, I did it because I wanted to do it. I had fun. I was excited to go to the gym. Then it got to, I did my first contest. I won my weight class. That day, I knew I wanted to be a pro. So I was set out on that journey for 11 years to get my first, and it changes everything when you're doing it, over the years. It just, everything kind of changed. And even though I was still having fun going after that, it just made it different. Then it's like it got to the point when I was on the national level, I just wanted to be done. I wanted to take a year off. But when you're placing in the top, I would think I was top 4 all the time, and it just wasn't quite making that first place. I wanted to take a year off, but it's like, no, I got to keep going, because I don't want them to forget me, so I had to keep doing it. And I thought my pro card was going to change me and change the way that I felt. And I made a podcast. I don't know if you guys listened to the one. I can't remember if I might not have posted that one. But anyway, I did a podcast talking about this, about how I thought that was going to make me feel different in getting my pro card. It took me 11 years, and it's like I kept going. I finally got it, and it's like, I still feel the same. I thought I was going to feel more special having that title, IFBB Pro. But I didn't. I felt the same, and I thought, well, maybe it just hasn't sunk in yet. When they announced me, because I won my weight class, my lightweight class. The lightweight class wasn't really that big that year, but I ended up winning the overall, which was like a big surprise to me. And I was like, wow. And it's like, I still feel the same. I don't feel any more special. I don't feel any smarter, or I don't know if that's the right term, but I just felt the same. And I thought, well, it just hasn't sunk in yet. And it still never really sunk in, other than I think it did. I mean, people that knew what that was, they looked at you differently. I didn't look at myself differently, because I'm like, I'm still the same person. It didn't change me. But then years after I stopped competing, I started looking back, and I was like, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about the pro card. It was about the journey along the way. It was about those 11 years going after something like that and not giving up. I learned perseverance to to never give up, go after what you want. I learned focus, to stay focused on something. I learned discipline and self-discipline, and those are different. Those are two different things. Um, and I learned how to dedicate myself to something, which is, I guess, kind of part of focus. And yeah, and I mentioned this in the podcast, and there were some other things. I learned a lot of things from that. You know, it's like I learned how to help other people along the way too. I learned what worked as far as like, you know, dieting, protein, carbs. What kind of competing would you do? I used to do that. I haven't done that lately, probably in about 2 or 3 years. I mean, are you male or female? Okay, thank you. Um, Bodybuilding, male, then. Okay, send me an email at cliftafit@yahoo.com, and maybe we can chat a little bit more about it. Have you been lifting for a while, and have you ever competed? And I do diets, and actually I've been doing Skype and or Facebook Messenger with one of my clients that I still have. So if you're into technology, I train people too. But yeah, Clifta Fit. So just like the YouTube channel, cliftafit@yahoo.com. Yeah. So anyway, so I learned a lot of things along the way. So it wasn't really about winning the gold medal. You know, it was about other things that you don't really realize sometimes that you're learning when you're doing something. So as far as me competing again, I don't know if I really want to do that, because I don't want to turn it into something that I have to do to get this over here. I'm trying to kind of undo that kind of thinking. I want to do it and be healthy because it feels good, and I want to do it, and I enjoy doing it. You know, that's like one of the things, like with my cardio. Cardio is like one thing that I didn't really like to do, and now I love my cardio. You know, and I'll usually set my phone up there and put a video on. I'll listen to somebody about something, you know, diet or whatever. And I just get up there, and before I know it, it's like I'm just like going away. It's like I don't even get winded or anything, but it's like I enjoy my cardio. I have fun doing that. You know, so it's like I think, yeah, you just want to find the things that you have fun doing. And like, I think when you feel like you should do something or you have to do something, I think that changes it. But it depends on where you are in your life and your fitness journey too, because it's like there are some people that, you know, I always used to say, I think everybody should at least have to compete one time in their life, because it's an experience. Yeah, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn how to, just really stick to something and commit. You learn to commit. You're committing to yourself, and to, you know, so sometimes when you don't have that commitment and you don't whatever your thing is, whether it's a competition, a wedding, a vacation, you know, that thing that's like here, it gives you like an end point, you know, where whenever there's an end point, it's like it's easy to stick to something. I think it's harder to stick to something when you don't have that thing. And that's the thing that I'm learning is, you know, I took that thing away, which my thing was competition. You need thing to keep you on track, because you don't have to do anything really when you don't have that competition, or you don't have that wedding you're getting ready for. I think competition though is like the the best thing, because you're actually going to get up on stage almost naked and pose, so you want to look good. um, but for me, it's like I would always start like about 20 weeks out with my diet, because I wanted to do it slowly so I looked good. But it's like knowing when the end date was, it's like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And you learn to just take one day at a time of the things that you're supposed to do. And you just tighten up as you get closer and closer and closer. And it's like, I remember the feeling after every show when you get done and then that thing's not there anymore. You kind of enjoy the first night because, like, yay, I can eat whatever I want. And then after a day or two, when you don't have that discipline, the schedule the routine that you're used to, it's like, what do I do with myself? I don't know what to do. So then you go through that transition of, going from really strict to now there's nothing. So then you have to learn to go from competition to off season, and that was always um, something that I actually did learn how to like both. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. But now it's like not having that at all, because back then it's like I knew that I would always, every year, would have that. And then after it would be pulled away for a few months. And then it's like, okay, time to get ready to diet again. You put that contest back in there, so it's like I learned to go from competition to off season, and it was just my life for 11 years. Now it's like that's just not there anymore. And I did do it in 2010, and I did 4 shows that year. And I think I wanted to see if I could do it being older, and if I still liked it, if I still wanted to do it. And I did. It was fun. And I think God did that on purpose, though, because when I competed before and I finally decided I was done after I got my pro card, I had 14 years off, and I said, I'll never compete again. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. And it's like I woke up one day with a desire to compete, and I'm like, do you want me to compete again? Really? Because this isn't coming from me, because I don't want to do that again, because I know what it requires. It's like, no, it's not my desire. Where did I get this desire from all of a sudden? I just woke up one day, and it's like I kept asking, and I kept getting signs like, yes, you're supposed to compete again. I'm like, okay. And I did, and it was hard. It was hard to like come back after 14 years, kind of a little rusty, and but it was fun. I learned a lot about myself then too. Um, I was reminded of a lot of things that I think I had like, and after I got done, then I thought I was going to compete in 2011, and I didn't. It didn't feel right. And then I thought maybe 2012, and it's like, okay, who are you kidding? You're done. But I'll never say never again, because I said that before. And yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll compete again. Right now at this time, I'm like learning. Okay, sorry about that. um, just like my cardio. I love doing my cardio now. I want to love to do the weights again too. And to do it the way that I want to do it now. I'll be curious to see if I can do it and not go to the extreme. I don't know how I'm going to work out. I know my goals are different, and I think because my goals are different, my workouts will be the way that they're supposed to be to get the results that I want, or the feel that I want. That's one thing too about knowing what you want. When you know what you want, and you always have that up here, you'll be led to the way that you're supposed to train to get the results that you want. It's like competing. I knew that I didn't know exactly how I wanted to look, but I knew I had an idea. I had a vision, and to do a bodybuilding series at home. Okay, like what would you want to see? That would be fun. Even though I don't want to do it, I can still talk about those kind of things. I still, yeah, I still have that up here. Um, I'm a stickler on form. I think form is very important in how you do what you're doing as far as bodybuilding. You know, it's like I remember when I first started, it's like I wanted to find the secret. What is the secret? You know, somebody has to have the secret. You know, and you read the magazines, Flex Magazine, Muscle and Fitness, and, you know, you look at the other pros and you know, what they're doing, and see, that's what this is like. Don't compare yourself to others, because I think it really is about finding what works for you and doing it your way. And, you know, one of the first people that I worked with diet, he taught me discipline. As far as the diet, he would give me something and say, here, do this, and I would do it. I learned discipline by, like, okay, he knows what he's talking about, I'm going to follow. Here, when I was like a teenager, you know, I'm going to stick to it, I'm going to follow it. That is your discipline. Self-discipline comes from learning. Once you've learned your body and you're doing something because it feels right. You know, one of the second people that I worked with was, he gave me guidelines, and then I got to choose, and I would choose according to what felt right. So I was kind of using my intuition at the time too. And when I finally won the USA and got my pro card, weight training at home for a full physique. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'll be doing workouts for every body parts too. And what I'll probably do if I do them, I'm going to train for me, but I'll say, you know, maybe I can add something like, well, you know, if you are trying to really build, you know, you might want to do one more set or two more sets or whatever. So I'll figure it out as I go, I think. And if I do lives, then yeah. Do you guys like the lives? Do you want live workouts, or do you want just like video workouts, or both? Yeah, because when I do them, I'll mention too, like, you know, well, if you have bad knees, you know, you might not want to do this. You could do this instead. So I'm going to try to do those kind of things too. But one of my favorite sayings too is, it's not necessarily what you do, but it's how you do what you do. And it's like, how you do what you do comes back to the mind, body, and the breath, and just being connected. Because to me, it's like, if you're really trying to build muscle, it's not always about the weight and going super heavy. It's live workouts are cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was even thinking about doing Zoom classes, which I haven't used Zoom yet. I've used Skype, so I know Skype a little bit, but I have a couple friends that are doing social gatherings on Zoom and stuff like that, and they're working on Zoom. So I haven't really checked that out yet, but then that way we could all see each other. You know, then I could see you guys, because these right here, you guys just get to see me and I don't get to see you. So yeah, if you want to see some Zoom workouts, yeah, comment and let me know, because I think that would be kind of fun. And then I can give tips too. I can give tips on form or whatever. Yeah, we can do it together. It'd be like being in the gym. I miss being in the gym. The gym just has like such a cool atmosphere. I've been in the gym for, gosh, 35 years. So it's like, yeah, to not have that in my life anymore. Live workouts, okay. Yeah, I know. I saw that the other day. I can't remember if I saw it. Somebody talking about that on Facebook. Yeah, I think so. Do you mean like my gym is behind me? Or you mean just going to the gym? um, yeah, I think going to the gym is behind us, at least for a while anyway. Oh, my gym? My gym is behind me? Is that what you mean? um, oh, hi, how are you? I'm glad to see you here. Um, yeah, I think, well, how about Skype? Do you guys know anything about Skype? Is that safe? Because Skype, I think, I don't, you can't do as many people, but I'm not expecting to have a lot of people anyway. Zoom, I think you can have like 100 people. Um, I'm not expecting that many. Maybe only just a few. So I think, thank you. I think Skype might work too. I don't know if that's, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, me too. It's like I have everything that I need to have a good workout. Okay, but if we do the live YouTube, I can't see you guys. Oh, thank you. I can't see you guys. Do you want me to see you guys too, or is this good? I mean, because I can do this, but it's just funny talking to the camera. Like I'm just looking up where it says live and the time. I'm kind of like trying to look up there to keep my focus. I don't want to look at myself because that's looking at myself. um, I'm looking up this way to keep my focus. So I'm like looking at you. Like hopefully I'm kind of giving you guys eye contact. But I notice working with my client on Skype, you know, when you can see the other person, it's like you can have that eye contact. But I'm fine with doing just lives here too. Are you guys good with that? What do you guys want to see? Skype is good. Um, okay. Um, thank you. Yeah, I just try to keep my focus, and I am kind of looking out the window too, because. um, okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'll plan on the live YouTubes for now, and then we can kind of take it from there. Um, and I'm gonna try to find my wide angle lens. I think it'll go over the camera thing, so it'll open it up just a little bit more, maybe. Um, but yeah, so um, oh, thank you. It's like so hard in the beginning. Whenever I start lives, if there's nobody on here or just a couple people and nobody's saying anything, it's like, okay. Because I never really plan anything when I do these. I read something in a book and I might highlight things and like want to talk about them. And it's like, but once I get going, once people start to interact, then it just kind of flows more and it makes it easier. So I know I probably should plan things a little bit better before I get on here, but I'm kind of like a wing it kind of person. Main movements for, okay, I can do that. Give me something to think about to start with. What kind of main movements would you want to see? Like um, barbell curl, squat, lunge, um, chest, back. What would you want to see? Heads of the triceps. Okay. Um, I have a belief that I don't know if anybody else has. Okay, tricep movements. Okay, and actually, off this way. I have a multi-unit little gym thing. So I do have a leg extension, standing leg curl. I have a tricep push down. I have lat pull down. I know that's like one thing that people have a hard time with. Right, long and short head, etc. Arms and chest. Um, okay. Glutes. Okay. Legs and glutes. Okay, just as long as you don't look at my legs and glutes because they're kind of jiggly right now. um, but I have a belief, and I can't remember if I said it in one of the, when you're getting ready to start a set, when you're getting ready to start a set, this is where the how you do what you do comes in. Sorry about that. The clients that I train usually come to me and they're just in their heads, or their heads are someplace else. So this is where I learned to explain this and to like, it's something that I knew, but because of them, I've had to learn how to explain what it feels like to be centered in your body and to have the mind and body connected with your breath. So because of clients that maybe don't naturally do it, I've had to learn, okay, what am I feeling and how am I going to explain to somebody that just doesn't get it? You know, so over the years, I've learned how to do that. And it's like getting centered in your body, first getting in your body and getting centered from your toes to the top of your head and above. And so you're centered from top to bottom, left to right, and front to back. That's what I do, like when I get ready to do. I just like get right there, and probably you guys can do that too. You just get there, you're ready, and just the same way you can do that for your body, I think you can do that within each muscle too. I think you can get centered. First you get centered in your body, and then you get centered in the muscle when you're training it. And I think your form with different exercises shows that too, and shows you are. And a good example would be, I don't know if it's an example of that though, but barbell curls. When you curl, if you come up, you ever see people do that? To me, that shows that you're not all the way in your body when that does that. Yeah, once you get in your body and you learn to do it from the inside out, your form want to go bad. Form, and somebody can start maybe in their body, but when their form starts to get sloppy, what I've noticed with my clients is because they're trying to escape. Because the pain sets in, or the burden, they're getting more to that threshold of like going past the pain. They start to get up to it. You know, they might not even make it all the way up to that barrier. They make it to where it starts to hurt, and then they want to quit. They start to like move back, and it's like it changes their breathing. And once your breathing changes, it cuts you in two, and your form goes. And then you're on the outside, because whenever you're escaping, so like if you're in your body, and I say getting like down here, but down to your feet too. But like if you're sitting on a bench, you're sitting on your butt. So if you just let that energy just come all the way down and just feel the gravity of your body. Oh wait, somebody's saying something. Oh wait, I think I can see it over here though. Let me see. I think going heavier is better. They lose the ego, and drop the weight, and get the form correct. Yes. Yes, that's True. Got to let go of the ego, because it's not always about lifting heavy to grow. Okay, so for powerlifting, yeah, that's your goal. But in bodybuilding or trying to change your body to get results, shape the muscle to grow, it's not always about the weight. To me, it's about intensity. Intensity is what makes you grow. And it's like, so say you have this threshold right here, this pain barrier, right? So to me, you get results when you pass that, when you go through that. You know, it's like most of the people I train, they're not bodybuilders, they're not really into that. They do it more for lifestyle because it makes them feel good. Most of my clients were older, so it makes their life easier because their muscles are stronger, you know, but they'll get to like a certain point, it's like it starts, you can tell it starts to hurt, that pain. So say the pain barrier is up here and they're coming up and it's starting to burn, is like their energy goes from being in their body to starts to come up. And then this is what happens. It's they're starting to fear and panic and get anxiety from the pain. So once that pain sets in, they can be this way and then, you know, in their bodies. And it's like, once that pain sets in, so this is centered front to back, right? Once that pain starts to set in, a lot of times they start to move away from it. Right there, now you're not centered from front to back, just moving away like that back. It changes your breathing. So if you stand up right now and you stand and you're just feel your breath. Now if you lean back, see what it does to your breath. It stops your breath. So right there, that just took away your power. You're not centered in the present anymore. You're trying to leave and go someplace else because you don't want to be where you are. So in order to, it's like fear. That's what fear looks like. That's what fear feels like. You know, if you're afraid of something, you know, it's like, and it like takes away your strength and your power. But if you say, no, I'm going to stay here, that involves keeping your core engaged, keeping your body centered from front to back. Same thing if you're going forward. You know, I have some clients that are forward thinking, you know, so when they're doing things, they're forward. And it's like, if you're forward, you're going to be top heavy, you know, you're not going to be balanced. So it's like you need to bring that back. So the whole trick, I think, to but if you're inside your body, you're doing it from the inside out, your form doesn't really go. Your form doesn't slip away because you're inside your body and you're aware of what your body's doing. It's when that pain sets in, it's like, how can I get through that pain? How can I get through that pain barrier? Because once you get through that pain barrier, have you ever taken a set through that pain barrier? And once you get through it, then it's like it doesn't bother you really. Now you're just riding the wave, right? And you know how you do that? It all has to do with your breath. You know, because the minute you start to like hold your breath, and I'm not saying that you can't hold your breath, because when you're training heavy, there are parts of the rep, the you know, because when you're training heavy, you're going more rep by rep. So on the heaviest part of a heavy set, you're going to hold your breath a little bit, but you have to make sure you exhale and inhale. You still have to make sure you're breathing. You can't hold your breath for 2 or 3 reps when you're training heavy, because then you're not really training heavy if you can hold your breath for 2 or 3 reps. Because when you're training heavy, it's like it's going to be the positive part of the motion. It's like, where you're holding it, like maybe like coming up, but then at the top, the very top of the movement, you have to do that exhale in order to take in clean air to come down and get ready to explode again. But it's like when you're working from the inside, lifting from the inside, your form won't go, usually. I think I'm saying that right, because I'll show an example. I made a video a few years ago. It was probably back in like 2011 or 12-ish, something like that. And I think it was talking about, I was training arms, and I talked a lot about this kind of stuff, I think. So whenever you see somebody do that or that, to me, it's like, I think they're on the outside, that part. Yeah, I think it's all about the breath. It's all about being in your body and about the breathing. And if you're in your body and breathing, then you have the mind there, and all three together. That's how you get results. But when you see somebody do that, one, you're not really getting a deep contraction, a tight contraction. And two, it's like, usually that's a sign that somebody's on the outside of their body. They're lifting the weight up. They're lifting the weight, right? So let me get one of my dumbbells. I keep forgetting I have my gym in the background here. So when you come up and you do that, to me, to get the tightest contraction of, say, your arm or any muscle that you're training, you need to like lock everything in and just move from there. Once you are breaking here to get here, and then you do this, you just I like to call it, you just diffused, spread the feeling in here. So to make that muscle like really pop, if you keep your focus right in the center of your arm and do it from the inside, it's going to make the muscle grow bigger than if you're doing that. Anytime you do that, so now lifting the elbows spreads it to the shoulders too. So it takes the total focus that you could have here and spreads it to forearms and shoulders. So in order to lift from the inside, I usually teach people to bend the wrist back a little bit, and instead of thinking of curling the weight up, which that's usually what that is a sign of, break the wrist back, forget about the weight, and think about pulling your wrist up. So when you do that and you lock your arms in, so now when you curl up, your elbows aren't going to lift, right? You're going to curl up. Now that's like a really tight contraction of my bicep. It's all in my bicep. I'm not pulling in my forearms or my shoulders and taking away from my bicep. This keeps it all in my bicep. And the more you can keep whatever you're working to keep that focus on just that muscle, that makes it more intense. So to me, if you're doing this and lifting, that's and it's not just, it's watering down the intensity. It's taking away the intensity when you do that, because now the bicep gets a split second or two to rest when this comes in and this comes in. So your forearms and your shoulders are taking some of the load off your bicep, which when you take some of the load off your bicep, you're taking the intensity away. When you do it this way, it's all right there on the bicep. The bicep doesn't have any chance to rest. It's kind of like, you know how if you do a lunge like that and you stay on the same side, that's a lot more intense than if you're switching back and forth. This is getting rest while this goes down. Now this is getting rest, right? It's kind of like that. I think it's, see how out of breath I got? So to me, the name of the game was always to be able to keep the focus only on the muscle that you're doing. And then again, that goes back to form. So it's all about the breathing and the form and being centered um, to make the intensity more. It's the intensity that makes you grow. And yeah, sometimes when you train too heavy, um, because of ego, your form goes because it's not you're if you're going too heavy, if you're going past like what you can do, yes, and feeling the muscle. And then there's a difference between feeling the muscle and using the muscle. Feeling the muscle is the first part, getting connected with the muscle. But when you get inside and you're using it from the inside, that's where your power comes from. So when to teach somebody to keep from doing that, usually I make them go lighter and break this back. So the wrist straightens out as you come down, but as you come up, if you're thinking of just pulling your wrist up and letting your wrist just stay back, you're doing it from the inside. You can really feel the bicep. And then when you get in touch with what that feels like from the inside and not just, moving weight, that right there isn't as focused as that. That's a lot more purposeful. I can feel it deeper in the muscle. So when you get to that point, then you're actually using the muscle. You're really flexing it as you're bringing the weight up, right? You're feeling it both ways. And it's almost like you're feeling your antagonistic muscle too. You're aware of your tricep flexing and stretching as your bicep is flexing and stretching. You're not just thinking about the bicep, you're aware. So this is how all parts come together. You're aware of your power stance, because if you're doing heavy curls, you have to have knees bent a little bit, which when you bend your knees, that engages your core. And when your core is engaged, you've just connected your upper body and lower body together. So that gives you more power. You're whole. So if these were heavy, I'm not going to do a heavy set with my legs straight. I'm going to drop my knees. Right away, my core engages. I can feel my hamstrings, my inner thighs tighten, which that's all part of your core. That gives you your strength. So if this was really heavy, that would be bad form, right? Leaning back, because if you see people when they get stuck, then they start to lean back. When you're doing it from the inside, and that kind of takes you out of the body. When you're doing it from the inside, to get past that sticking point, if you watch my glutes come back, so the weight stays on my thighs. So I'm bringing that weight back. I'm going to drop and pop. That little back drop and pop gets you past that sticking point right there. So when I do that, I can keep, as soon as this gets past that sticking point, I tighten my core and I don't have to lean back at all because I'm doing it from the inside. When you're doing it from the inside, your form you don't do bad things. You don't lean back because on the inside, you're connected to your breath, your upper body, lower body's connected, your core is engaged. You're just more aware of your body when you're doing all those things. This weight, a little Are these little for me? Not right now, they're not. um, but yeah, it's like when you're not in your body and you start to, your breath starts to change and you aren't doing it from the inside, then yeah, your form is going to get sloppy. But, it's like when I made this video that I was talking about, when I showed that, somebody says, well, that's cheating. And it's like, yeah, I think the name of the video was something like that. It's like, there are good times to cheat. You can use cheats to your advantage, like momentum. Yeah, that's momentum. But the way I showed you this way, that way, yeah, I'm using momentum by popping it up. But you know what? If you want to grow, you have to take a set past where you would normally fail, not using momentum. So that's when your cheats are good cheats. This, some people say, uh oh, are we still there? Um, some people say, oh, well, you're, oh, really? Yeah, you, if you want to grow, I think that's part of the intensity. It's like if I'm really strict, and I do as many as I can do just like this, not moving anything else, that's only going to take me so far. If I want to get to that point and it's like, okay, now it's starting to get hard, I need to use a little bit of momentum to go farther. That's the stuff that makes you grow. So it just depends on what your goal. Are you trying to be really, really strict all the time? If you are, then yeah, you're cheating. If your goal is to get bigger, yes, I would agree with that too. To only use cheat curls when you're, um, yeah, I forgot what you said, but um, let me see. I think I can see it here. Um, yeah, when you're really feeling the burn. Um, yeah, because if you're feeling the burn, you're with the weight, and it's like if you're with the weight and you're doing it on the inside, then yeah, then you use that. You have to be you have to be connected mind and body and be like where you are and doing it from the inside so you don't hurt yourself. Because if you're just mindly doing something, which I've seen people go too heavy and then they swing, um, or bench press or whatever, and then they tear something because they went too heavy, they went past what they can do, and then they're not really connected to the muscle, and yeah, you can hurt yourself. If you're not in the present and aware. I think sometimes the ego takes you out of the present. It puts you too far into the future, which you need to like be in the future. I always like say it's like you have one eye kind of out just a little bit and then one eye here. So you're still here. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but yeah, you need enough power to go past the weight, but yeah, it just you got to be smart. That's where training, it's not always about training harder, it's about training smart, especially as you get older. You have to train smart, and you have to be in touch with your body, and your balance, and yeah, let the ego go. Because I remember my biceps used to be my biceps and my calves used to be my hardest body parts to grow. And for my biceps, I finally stopped listening to everybody and did what felt right to me. And what felt right to me and what made mine start to grow was actually to go lighter and to make them more purposeful and to get deeper inside the muscle just like what I was talking about. And like, because when you can get inside the muscle, you're working, I think, so many more muscle fibers than if you're trying to do it from the outside and not taking it as deep and purposeful. Um, yeah, and another thing I did to grow my biceps was I loved cable work. I used a lot of cable work. I stopped trying to do super heavy barbell curls, which that's what everybody would say. Oh, you have to do heavy barbell curls. And I stopped doing that. And I did what felt right. I did what made me feel the pump and the burn. And when I started doing that, that's when they started to grow. Um, so you don't always have to go super heavy um, to make a muscle grow, because it's the intensity. It's getting past that pain barrier. You know, once you get to that point and it's like it's starting to burn, you know, then that's when you have to start listening to your breath, because you'll get to a point where it's like you know, you have to start doing them one at a time. Like you can start a set, you know, and you can do one after another. This is only breath wise, you're only going to be able to get so far, because like right now I can start to feel my breath going, and it's like, okay, and it was probably because I was talking while I was doing it too. But you have to listen to your breath, you have to listen to your body, you have to keep your focus on the muscle. But I think the breath tells all, because once you get into that, so that, because, well, and then there's your heart rate too. um, yes, should be done to failure. um, yeah, there's different ways to like increase the intensity. um, I think speed, um, doing more reps. You know, some people are afraid, especially guys, are afraid to do the higher reps. Um, you know, and by higher reps, it depends on what you call higher reps. Some people call 15 reps high reps, and I'm talking like 20, 25, 30 reps. You know, that that is intensity. You know, and not just taking a light weight and like going to 30. No, I mean, it has to, you have to have that burn, because with the lighter weights you get that burn and you get that pump. And I like to start a lot of times with really light weights, and my battery might die, so I might have to see you guys later. I'll keep going because I saw it flash a couple times that the battery's low. So if I lose you, this was really fun, and I'll be back soon. Because gosh, yeah, we're going on an hour and 24 minutes. Yay. um, but yeah, the intensity, um, when you do the lighter weights, you want to make the weight count. You know, it's all about making it count. You don't want to just use a little tiny weight and then you do 30 and it's like, okay, yeah. No, I mean, get inside the muscle, use the muscle from the inside, and like really make that 30 reps of whatever weight you're using. And if you get to 30 and you can still go 35. You know, I like to start a lot of times with a lighter weight like that, because it gets the blood in that area and it gets that burn going, and then it's just a layering process from there. I love to get that feel of like the muscle just feels like each set it's getting like fuller and bigger and more pumped. And but each set then I'll go heavier and heavier and heavier. And then you're using a variety of rep ranges too, and I think that hits different muscle fibers. So, you know, if you train the same all the time, it's like, you know, I like to mix it up. Yeah, I love that feel. I just feel that gets you really connected to the muscle. It gets that burn going. You start to feel your heart rate increase, and then it gets your breath going. And then you're like, okay, then you get psyched up. It's like, okay, I'm going to go heavier. And when you go heavier, you don't want to just stop at a certain number. I train, I do the reps that I can do for each set. I don't usually have a certain number in mind unless I'm starting to get really heavy and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to get 5 out of this or 6 out of this. Then I might have that just for my mind. But in the beginning, when, you know, I'm getting started on whatever exercise I'm doing, say I'm doing presses, you know, and it's like, I'll take it until I get like a nice burn and a pump. And it's like, yeah, this is feeling good. Like these, I don't know how many of these I could do, but I don't want to like use up the time that we have left on doing these. But it's like, okay, now I'm starting to like feel my shoulders burn a little bit. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, now it's starting to burn more. And it probably wouldn't be burning as much as if I wasn't talking. But yeah, seeing a lot of people would stop here. But it's like, nope, got to keep going. Got to keep going. And just keep in mind, I'm not really breathing right for what I would normally be breathing because I'm talking. But now I can start to feel my heart rate, the burn. And I would just take this. And because it's your first set too, you don't have to take it to total failure. Oof. But it's like, oh, I'll take it to like a certain breath, but it's like, yeah, that's like, I'll take it to where I get winded. You know, you don't have to totally fail muscle wise, but I tell with my breath, it's just like, okay. See, and that just made me breathe really deep. It's making me breathe from down here. Yeah. Yeah, when you punch through that burn, it's like that's when you start to get gains, and that's where no pain, no gain. Like this was like, that was painful. A lot of people would have quit before that. You know, and it's like, I like that burn. You know, you start to, if I would have done it without talking, you know, it's like you start to use your breath to extinguish that pain. You know, to blow out the fire, you know, because you get that burn, it's like a fire. And it's like, that's where, because this part, the up part's more of the burn than the down part. But then it's like, you're kind of blowing out the fire with your breath. And when you get past that pain barrier, then it's like, you know, but it's like, it's that no pain, no gain. You have to get to that point and then go through it. It's like really, like my shoulders feel so pumped right now. So these were 5s. I would like go up to, I don't know, let's try 10s. Now I'm probably going to be sore from this, you guys. I have not worked out in forever. Okay. So, you know, it's like you go heavier on the next one. And then I take this, I'm not even counting. I didn't count the first one either. Now I'm using a little pop at my knee, but I'm not leaning back. I'm still staying centered. Okay, my breath was changing, but my muscle was starting to fail too. So that one was a little closer to failure. I could have probably squeezed out a couple more, but breath-wise, it's like, okay, that's good. And then always take the time to enjoy your breath afterwards. So those were 10s. So then, yeah, I feel that took it even deeper in the muscle. I would sit here, breath, and let it get back to normal. Intense would be to go train faster, less rest. I think that's a good way to make it intense. If your goal's something other than growth, then yeah, that's another way to mix it up to make it intense. Because if I went right now, it would be intense because I'm not fully recovered. My muscle would feel faster because I'm not recovered, but it's going to limit how much weight I can use, and it's going to limit how far I can push that next set. Because if you're starting a set when you're not fully recovered, shoot, I got 5% left. You're not going to be able to go as heavy. Now, weight and going heavy is still important. It's just not the only thing. It's good when you're doing a layering process. Like right now, my shoulders feel pumped just from those. See if I can get one more set in. I'm gonna try the 15s. So I'll just go until my phone dies. So here we go. I'm using my knees a little bit. Now that was more failure. Oh, okay. I'm gonna be sore tomorrow probably. But my shoulders right now, it's like, oh, they feel so dead and tired. So I started counting this, then I forgot, but towards the end of my career, before I got my pro card, the feeling that I'm having right now, I would probably end on that, you know. And it's like, there was this one guy that was a big guy. He would compete state level, and he would make fun of me sometimes getting ready for the nationals, that I could do like an arm workout in 15 or 20 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh, my shoulders are so tired. Oh. Okay, so now you have a look at what they look like now. But again, this camera, which I'm kind of glad, is not picking up the loose skin. But if I get my arms bigger, then I won't have the loose skin anymore, right? It's just because my muscles have atrophied. But, oh man, I forgot what I was saying. All the blood's in my shoulders right now. Oh, I was saying that, yeah, I would probably be done with that exercise just from the feeling that I have right now. But then also, I'm not in shape right now. But, yeah, 3 sets just on dumbbell press. I might maybe do one more set of that, but then I would probably go into like some side laterals. Oh yeah, the big guy made fun of me. He was a pretty big guy, and he would make fun of me he's like, "Are you done already?" I'm like, "Yep, I got a good pump." I always went, oh shoot,